Welcome back, everybody. As we know, the Jets' ugliness has reared its head again, and I was definitely shocked at what I saw this past week against Buffalo. But I'm going to let Eddie take the floor, and we'll go to him first about his generalization of thoughts about this game. Go ahead, Ed.
Um, well, I'm not as being a long-suffering Jet fan as we talked about. Nothing surprises me with this team, but
Right.
I was a little taken aback by how, I was feeling positive with Aaron Glenn with the new coaching staff. I was feeling positive with Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields. After Pittsburgh, well, I mean, even though we lost the game, we talked last week, we felt positive about, coming out of that game with the offense moving in the air as well as on the ground. And then it just was a typical, hate to say it, but it was like almost like the typical Jet loss from years past where nothing clicked on either side of the ball.
Right. I mean,
Um,
isn't it amazing, Ed, though, how they can be the same team, even if it was just one game, so we're not going to jump to conclusions yet. But the fact that they looked like the same team as last year and the year before, with all the different personnel in the system here, is it a curse? I mean, what happens that the Jets can't get first downs again and gives up points on defense? Like, what the heck happened?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't punt Buffalo. I mean, the defense just, taking the defense. They didn't even. I don't think they stopped them till late in the third quarter. They didn't punt till they scored in the first four drives. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Buffalo just had their way with us, and I don't understand how Aaron Glenn, who's supposed to be a defensive guru, and let that happen. I mean, I didn't see a lot of adjustments being made either.
Right.
Um, and it was just, I mean, Justin Fields looked lost. I mean, he had 27 yards passing, right? I mean, he just looked lost out there. And he made a
Yeah.
lot of boneheaded mistakes again, to a lot of bad penalties that they took. Like on a disciplined team, like we talked about, like that, that Aaron Glenn we were hoping was going to change when he cut Gibson last week for fumbling. We thought they were going to hold him accountable. Let's see what he does this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, like you said, like last week, what are they going to do? I mean, Justin Fields is a concussion protocol now, but I mean, obviously, they're not going to bench Justin Fields. You wouldn't think
Yes.
for you, but three complete passes. I mean, listen, my first step as a Jet fan, I've mentioned this many a times, is to just lose, but look like you know what you're doing. Lose and you scored 30 points, like last week. That was an
Like,
exciting loss. And I
Like
know
Pittsburgh against Pittsburgh, yes.
it's stupid to say that, but we're Jet fans, and that's how desperate we are, just to look like we know how to play football. And this week against Buffalo, I could not believe, I didn't even think it was possible for the Jets to take so many steps backwards, and Justin Fields looked like the Justin Fields we were afraid he might be. Uh, no running game, no passing game, no nothing. No, it's bizarre. It's Jets world basically is what we're looking at here.
On both sides, I mean, the
Yeah,
score it wasn't even that close, 30-10. I didn't feel at all that we were ever in this game. I mean, the first series 3-and-out, right? Then Buffalo scores, I mean, it was just, I never felt we were in the game.
yeah. I mean, really, I always say it was like a 30-3 score. That last touchdown was bogus and everything. They couldn't care less
Agreed.
about that. But I mean, I listen, and I'm watching the game, and I had some people over, and there's nothing worse than having people over for a game, and you're excited to watch football, and you're watching this unfortunately low-scoring Jet game. My biggest fear is to watch them only score basically one touchdown and three plays and punt and three plays and punt and that whole nonsense that we've been seeing for years. I was also curious to see what the second half was going to bring, what kind of adjustments. Nothing changed. Uh, yeah,
Nothing changed.
this is super interesting to see how this goes going into Tampa because you know that was just that was bad. I mean, it was like
A
like
couple
you
of things
play
to
like
show you
that,
how bad it was.
you're not going to win a game playing like that. So I mean,
No, I mean, just to give you an example, I mean, how bad they were out gained out 403 yards for Buffalo, 154 yards for the Jets. They were 0 for 11 on third downs.
yeah, yeah, it's
11
crazy.
first downs. I mean, that's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Now listen, we all know Buffalo's good, and so I mean, and Pittsburgh did lose last week. Well, I mean, right now as we speak, Tampa Bay's up 14-10 over the Texans. The Jets will be going to Tampa Bay. I believe it's going to be Tampa Bay's first home game next week. And certainly it will be the third playoff team in a row that the Jets are facing. But like we said last week, we don't think Tampa Bay is as strong as, well, they're not as strong as Buffalo. Pittsburgh, we don't know what Pittsburgh really is,
Agreed.
But no, yeah, the tournament, and also what a difference a week makes. Last week, prior, Justin Fields looked like he was ready to set the world on fire, and Russell Wilson looked like Justin Fields might look. And now you switch it around a week, and wow, what a difference.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah.
it's a week to week thing, but I mean, what are we going to see
So
going forward?
drastically different from from week one to week two is very
It
is
is.
troubling.
It is. I mean, listen, we can only hope that Buffalo basically goes undefeated and they're that good of a team. But Tampa Bay, we have Miami right after that. Uh, man, if we don't beat Miami, then it's pretty much just start looking forward to next year. I mean, you know, and
If it's 0-4, it's going to be ugly. Yes, if it's 0-4, I mean it's an ugly
yeah,
start.
and like I said, I hate to beat a dead horse, Ed, but it's not really so much the 0-4. It's the 0-4 and the possibility of them like only being able to score 13 points and not getting first downs and that kind of thing. Like, you
I
know,
mean, you went from that great week last week on offense, everything was clicking to nothing. I mean, it was amazing how much of a turn, how everything turned around. Wow.
it really is. It really is. I was totally, it's bad to say I was shocked by it. Like I said, we should expect that, you and I, but I was definitely, we're always optimistic with taking a step
Always
forward.
optimistic, always hopeful, and
Yeah.
it was a beautiful day. The crowd was into it. You thought they were gonna, when it shows
Yeah.
something.
It,
Yeah.
it's, it was something else. I mean, yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. It was ugly. It was boring. Uh, I think it was shocking under the new regime. And, we'll see how they play against Tampa Bay, if they have any life in them, if they can score, 30 points again. Uh, but every game in the season is interesting, and I'm curious to see what kind of steps forward they take. They really can't go too much backwards than they did last week. So, you know,
First road game, Tampa's,
yeah,
as you said, I believe it's Tampa home opener right tomorrow, next week.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, they just look like they didn't have a clue on offense or defense. So, you know, we'll see if they can do better.
They weren't they weren't prepared. Took a lot of bad penalties as well. I mean, it was just it was sloppy. The whole everything. There wasn't one aspect of that game that you could say that there was a positive in.
Yeah. Well, like I says, this isn't going to be a long podcast here because everybody kind of knows what happened on Sunday and how ugly it was, and there's a lot of other shows out there. Everybody feels the same way, and the only thing we can look forward to now is how do the Jets turn this around? How do they play better football, even if they do lose, especially against Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay being the home team, and then we'll go ahead from that and talk about the Miami and whatnot. But yeah, it was just. It's so, you think we're kind of used to it, but we really thought we turned the corner with Avin Glenn after that first game.
It's
You
one of
know,
those. It's like the geese era. It's the all those bad memories come up of all those bad coaches over the years. It felt just like one of those losses to me.
yeah, it's bizarre. So we'll see what happens coming up in Tampa Bay. I'll be going to the game. I'm hoping to take a lot of video recordings and whatnot, and try to get a good little uh, thing
You
going
can't
with
be
that.
one thing, Dave. You can't be doing. You can't be talking smack in the parking lot before the game because we got nothing to talk smack about.
I probably will. I probably will. I'm assuming and I'm predicting there'll be a lot of Jet fans in the game at Tampa.
I think so too. A lot of Jet fans down in Florida, as we all know, people relocated, so it's probably I think so too.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. It should be a lot of fun. I will say, and like I says, just show me you can play football, score some points, be exciting. You know, just I hate to watch this team again. They can't play on both sides of the ball. It's just hard to watch. And it's
It's hard to. It's
discouraging.
not it. I mean, even like Pittsburgh was fun to watch. Even if you lost the game, you were in the game. They were
Right,
moving the
right.
ball. But there was nothing. It was a chore to watch that game. I had a Dave. I was literally, if it wasn't for you in this podcast, I would have turned that game off in the third quarter. But I wanted to
Yeah,
see if there was
yeah.
any for the whole game. Nothing.
Well, luckily, when that game was over, I put the Giant game on. That was an amazing game, huh?
So it ended up in the
That was
overtime.
an amazing game to watch and whatnot. I'm curious to see. It's time for Aaron Glenn now to put up a shut up. and we're going to see if there's a difference now going forward from this
Agreed.
game on
Yeah,
because
we'll see if
I
they make
can't
it.
picture them playing any worse. That had to be their worst game for the rest of the season. I can't picture that happening again.
But that's hopefully those aren't hopefully those we don't get laughing about that statement come week 10, 15. We'll see what happens. But that's
Yeah,
ugly.
we'll see.
It's funny too. Hey, I heard somebody joking saying, "Hey, at least we're as good as the Kansas City Chiefs." They're both 0-2 now.
I was going to say, I was thinking about that. Like, hey, we have the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs now. Nobody would have suspected that. And Kansas City is at the Giants next week, and
Yeah, Sunday night, right?
it's similar. The Giants, like let's see what the Giants do next week, and they put up a lot of points, look pretty good. I mean, they're the home team against the Chiefs next week, and maybe the Giants can win, and maybe the Chiefs will have off to a slow start. Who knows? You know?
You should have made it a long vacation. You could have stayed there for both games in Florida, playing the
Yeah, I
Florida.
know.
You could have had a nice long vacation.
Yeah, I don't know how much that would have cost me, but yeah, it's tempting. You know. Yeah, so yeah, I'm all set to go. We fly out Friday and come home Monday, and a lot of shenanigans in between those two time periods. And like I said,
And
hopefully
I
I get
want to
some
hear
good
what the
video.
stories.
Yeah, I want to get some good video of the Tampa Stadium and whatnot, and document everything and try to get it out here for the YouTubers out there who follow us and whatnot. It should be pretty cool. So,
I always want to
but
see, Dave, if you can, take some up close picture of that pirate ship. I always want to see that pirate ship up close.
I'm going to be sitting very close to the pirate ship. You know that, right?
Yes, I want to see, but make sure you take some pictures. I want to see what the pirate ship looks like up
I'm
close.
I'm in the section right next to the pirate ship. So yeah,
Nice.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what
All
I
right.
can do. So, but all right, Ed, like I says, another week is going to come up, another football week, and thank goodness we both love football, and a lot of teams exciting to watch. Thank goodness, and hopefully the Jets find a way to make
Turn
this.
it around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's hope this was the worst game of the season, and I got to predict that right now that it was the worst game of the season because Justin Fields with three completions. I mean,
27 yards. Yeah, you can't get much worse than that.
that's
Oh,
it's
for
got to
11
get
on
better.
third down. You can't get much worse than that either.
Yeah, it's got to get better. So, like I said, if anybody has any comments, throw them out there for us. Like, subscribe. We appreciate the viewers who follow us. We don't have too many, but we have fun doing this, and we're going to keep doing it regardless. Just like the Jets, we're fans of theirs, even though they're losing, and we're going to keep doing podcasts, even if I have only 30 or 40, 50 views. So that's how we're going to do it. The Jets attitude. All right, Ed.
Sounds good, Dave.
All right, we'll talk next week.
Yep, enjoy the trip.
You
Safe
got it.
travels.
Take care.